Hi, this is Chris with Everydayvba. In this video, this actually came from this week's work, so this is pretty practical. What we're doing is you would actually have to report on a weekly basis as far as like number of calls, number of articles, whatever you're specifically doing. In this case, we'd put in that data and then we would just track that. Now sometimes Excel is the perfect place to do that, and this Macro Monday is the solution to how to do that. So we're going to go ahead and dig right in. I do have my Visual Basic Editor open. If you don't have that open, you can hit Alt F11 and it will take you there. We've got to go to the book. I have not named my book yet. It is just simply Book 1, which is very boring, but that's the way it is right now. So we are going to add a module, and I'm just going to talk you through what I'm going to do. First thing we got to do is name our sub, and so this is, we're just going to call this MoveRight. And really what we're going to do is we've got that button like you saw in the video, and that button just moves everything over and then adds a date. So the first thing to do is just to think about kind of what we're doing. Now VBA has a code called offset. There's a couple ways that you could do this. I'm going to show you how to do it using offset. You could also use a current region array or something along those lines, but I'm just going to show you kind of how to do it. There is some complexity here as far as kind of adding different pieces and parts because you have to take into consideration how big that is. So we're just going to dig in. So first thing we're going to do is we know that we're going to start in, we're going to just move a large range. So we're going to assume that there's 100 weeks or 104 weeks. That gives us 2 years worth of data, and we're just going to move that over. So we're just going to make that assumption. It does make it easier to code. So first thing we're going to do is we need to start with the range that we have, and we're basically going to move it over 1. So again, this is easy when you've done it before, and so it's going to look like I don't do a whole lot as far as the lines go, or as far as lines of code, but the concept works great. So we're going to go range, and then we're going to go C. Sorry, I'm going to start with D9 through, and it's going to be, because this is where we're actually moving the data to. So this is D9, and we're going to go to, let's just go AA, we're down to 13. And let me just show you what I'm doing here so this makes a little bit more sense. So this is the range that we're going to be moving, because ultimately what we're doing is we're taking this and we're moving it to here. But what we have to do before we do that is we have to say, well, what range am I sending it to? So in this one, this is where we're going to basically be passing that range over. So we're going to make that equal to range D. It's going to be C9, and it's going to be, that's funny, I'm actually going to go out here and find an actual column. Let's make my life easier. So we're going to go BA and then AZ. So I'm going to change this to BA, and then this is going to be AZ. Is that right? Okay. So now all we're doing is we're just taking that and we're just copying right over it. Now, when I run this, I still have to clean it up a little bit, but we're in a good place. So if I hit F8 and then we're going to go like that, we get a dot value. I get an error. Ha, it's funny. Global failed. Oh, it's because I didn't give it a 13. It's the little things. So that's good. That's good for you to see that happens, because it obviously does. confused why this isn't working. Okay, so I'm back. I had to break away real quick. So I was correct. So if I had value, didn't have value on here, and what that did is it just passed the range to the range. And really, what I wanted to do is I wanted to pass the values of the range. So, for example, we've got here. When I click this again, it's going to just move everything over. So we got to do a couple things to clean this up, and it's pretty straightforward. So we need to clear out that that range from C9 to C9 to C13. We got to clean that out. So we're going to go C9 to C13. Got to put that in quotes. Trying to rush through here real quick and type in like crazy. So I'm just going to put in single quotes. So what that's going to do is that's going to clear out that entire range, right? Okay, so the other thing we're going to do is we need to set we're going to add a date. So we're going to go range C9, and we're just going to actually use today's date. And so that's really simple. You just type in 8. You got to spell range correctly. Gosh, my spelling just is not doing well today. So now we're going to copy that over. Copied over the blank, which is somewhat correct. And we are good to go. So our code is actually good. Let's just test it. So let's say Joe had 10, Sue had 15, Sally had 12, and Fred had 15 as well. Okay, we're going to go ahead and run this code. Notice it moves it over. We clear it out. I've got to make that a 13, otherwise it's not going to work. I'm going to change the date, and we are good to go. So if a week had gone by, this would be the new date. So you could actually do this date after date after date, right? So I could do this every day. I could come in here, and it would just chart everything out. You could throw a chart on here, which would be great. So let's say Joe did really bad, Sue just crushed it, Sally did a little worse, and Fred is Mr. Consistency. We're going to come over here, right click on here, assign the macro. We're going to assign the MoveRight. We can't do that. This basically says, hey, wait a sec, you're running code, you can't run it twice. So we're going to fix that. I'm going to come back in here, finish the sub, and notice we just go like that. Now let's add another piece here just so that it is cleaner. So we're going to go columns. We're going to go D through A, Z dot AutoFit. Now I'm doing this blind so that I actually could get an error here. So let's just see. Nope, looks like we're good. That is your Macro Monday, a way to track daily or weekly tasks so that it just pushes all the data out. It's a beautiful thing. Hope you guys enjoyed. Happy Macro Monday.